There's been a lot of debate recently about a 3D Sonic game getting a remaster. I've watched people in YouTube comment sections and Twitter go back and forth. Wait a minute, I forgot. It's not called Twitter anymore, it's called X now. Very creative name for a social media platform, Elon Musk. But anyways, some people are saying Sonic fans are on copium. Some people think that this could actually be happening. There is something that is going on here with Sonic Heroes. That's right. It's possible that Sonic Heroes could be getting a potential remaster, port, or something along those lines. And I'm not just pulling this for a video out of my booty hole, as something seemingly Sonic Heroes related was teased at the last Sonic Central. I even remember I even said something literally as I was live reacting to it about Sonic Heroes, maybe getting a remaster. Check it out. God, the Sonic ice cream. Hey, yo.
I think that might have been more excitement than the old stream could handle.
What is that?
No
Is that Sonic Heroes? That's Sonic Heroes. Wait a minute. Are they porting Sonic Heroes? They're porting Sonic Heroes. Now I know what some of you guys are thinking. It's just Tails Tube, guys. It's copium. Well, it's really odd that that was shown during the Sonic Central and that Tails Tube segment kind of announced literally nothing. It literally announced almost nothing. Tails was just saying filler stuff with Sonic Heroes glitching in the background. That's very obvious that that means something. As to why they would tease that in Tails Tube, I have no idea. So let's say it's just a port of Sonic Heroes. If that's the case, I can see that being very likely, as Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 are already on PC and also on some modern consoles, or playable on some of them, such as the Xbox. So I could very much see them trying to do the same with Heroes, because Heroes is kind of lost on the PS2 and GameCube. And there is a native PC port, but there's obviously no legal way, I believe, to actually obtain the game these days, and if there is, it's probably pretty difficult. So it would make sense they want to bring that other game, which is technically connected to the Sonic Adventure games, to modern consoles or PC. And also, if you guys didn't know, Sonic Heroes is also one of the top selling 3D Sonic games of all time. But okay, let's say it's not a port and it's actually a remaster. Well, this is where we can get a lot more fun then. As some of you may know, I'm not the biggest fan of Sonic Heroes anymore. I actually really used to love Sonic Heroes, but I feel like over time, the game has just not held up. A lot of people will say that about games like Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2, but I actually feel this way with Heroes. And don't get me wrong, I loved Sonic Heroes. I really don't think I get nostalgia blinded by games like that. Maybe the experiences with games, but I'm not going to sit here and hold a game to a high regard if I'm not having fun with it anymore. For me, that's just not how it works. So due to that, there are some things I would really love to see changed in the Sonic Heroes Remaster. And as for remaster, I'm not just talking about a simple upgrade in graphics and widescreen. I want to see some stuff change. Change number 1, let me complete the game without playing every single team. Yeah, you should still have to collect all of the Chaos Emeralds, but I don't think you should have to play every single team to get the final story ending. I think that's what makes Sonic Heroes for me personally a big drag. I think multiple playable characters in Sonic games most of the time should be an optional thing if they all play similar. Like the classic Sonic games, you can swap between Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles pretty easily. They all play similar and do similar stuff. Another thing I would do is reorder the levels for each team. I feel like going in the same exact order of the levels is pretty odd to me, and I don't think they all necessarily get harder each time, maybe except for Team Dark. But say like the Chaotix, their levels are more mission based, so the level doesn't really matter as much in my opinion. It's more about what you're doing in the levels. I know some people who really wouldn't like that change, but it could always be an option of how you want the game to be. If you want it to stay original, you can just switch to original mode. But in my opinion, that would make the game way more enjoyable. I don't think Sonic Heroes is a bad game, but I think beating the game is not a fun experience. It's mostly fun to run through with one team. Replaying all the teams back to back is not that enjoyable. Some people may say, well, you're not meant to play it all back to back. Well, a game should be good all throughout the game and keep me hooked and want to keep playing and not really want to take long breaks from the game. That's just my own personal philosophy. And here comes the big one. Let's tighten the controls. Sonic Heroes controls are a little too slippery sometimes. I would like some things to be refined, such as the movement when Knuckles is doing his punches, or any of those power characters if I'm being honest. And just for the game to be overall less slippery, add in some codes for some tighter controls. That would benefit the feel of Sonic Heroes significantly. Sonic Heroes isn't a terrible game, it's just an overtuned game in terms of its slippery movement. The slippery movement is really interesting to look at sometimes when you watch people play and just fly off of stuff, but that also just really needs to be fixed. They should also work on making rail switching a more consistent feature because sometimes it's a little wonky. It's probably some of the worst rail switching in the entire series. I think sometimes some things just need to be automated. There's times where you can rail switch when it seems like you're going to go on the other rail, but you just fly past it for some reason. And I don't think that's really even a skill issue. Sometimes there's just annoying quality of life things missing. Sonic Heroes just needs better rail switching. I just think no matter what, if you're going to switch to another rail, it should always put you on the rail next to you no matter what. That's how the Boost games handle rail switching. And honestly, Sonic Adventure 2's rail switching isn't the most amazing either, but it's better than Sonic Heroes and more consistent. And I'm not afraid to switch rails on the left or right of me. And this one may be controversial, but I would love to see the environments and the models of all the characters kind of redone and upgraded. Now, I'm not talking Sonic Colors Ultimate style, but a more appropriate upgrade for Sonic Heroes I think would really bring out how good that game actually looks. I'm not a big fan of the super shiny Sonic models, but it doesn't look terrible. But it does need an upgrade in my opinion for a modern day remaster. If a lot of these things were changed, for me personally, this would make the game a lot more enjoyable, I feel. Now there's other core problems with the games that can't really be fixed, I feel like. But overall, those things I think, like I said, would just make me enjoy Sonic Heroes a lot more than I already have. I don't hate Sonic Heroes, it's just kind of hard to go back to, which is pretty sad, but this is why I think a remaster would make me want to go back to Sonic Heroes, and I'd be totally down for it. I also think Sonic Heroes deserves to be ported to modern day consoles, because Sonic Heroes has not been ported once ever. You can't even cloud stream it. It's literally kind of lost to time on consoles. The only reason Sonic Heroes is still talked about and kept up is due to emulation and just Sonic fans' love for Sonic Heroes. Well, some of us at least. Also, a bonus thing that I think they should also add is probably, if they could, add online to the battle mode or the versus mode. I think that would also be a lot of fun. I do think Sonic Heroes has a pretty decent multiplayer mode, and that doesn't need to be overlooked either. If they could add online to that, that would be pretty amazing. And there's no excuse, they can definitely do it. If we can do net play through Dolphin, then these developers can put the time and money in to make sure that there's a functional online play mode on a game like this. But what do you guys think? Do you think Sonic Heroes port or remaster is coming, or is this just copium? But regardless if it's copium or not, it's fun to talk about. And hopefully it happens, just like Sonic Unleashed on PC. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And like always, I will see you guys in the next one.
Well, whatever happens, happens.